welcome to the Angel Rewatch, a spoiler-free retrospective podcast on Angel. I'm William.
And I'm Derek, and this is a podcast for Habeas Corpses, written by Jeffrey Bell, originally airing January 15th, 2003. Fred is at the Hyperion worrying about everyone, and then everyone comes in. She goes to hug Gunn, but there is also a moment where she pointedly looks at Wesley and says that she's glad that everyone is safe. Angel then arrives after he has had a tantrum of seeing Connor and Cordelia together. Speaking of which, Cordelia wakes up and realizes she has made a huge mistake. She tells Connor this is a one-time thing. They both needed it last night, but it's over. Connor's confused and hurt, but not as much as me. No one explains why Cordelia felt she needed Connor's prepubescent body awkwardly laying on top of her for a good minute, or two if Connor was lucky. Anyway, from here, Lila goes to find Wesley to check if he's alive. She's relieved to find that he is, but she's not so happy about Wesley's next bit of news. He wants to break up with her. He's choosing a side, and it's not Lila's one. Lila tells him there's a funny thing about good and evil and black and white. Once you mix them together, all you get is gray, and it doesn't matter how much white you add in, you're just going to get gray. The hits keep on coming for Lila because Connor shows up at Wolfram Hart. Connor wants to know who or what he is and what his connection is to the Beast. Lila's solution is to cut him open, but Connor knocks out the goons that Lila sends. Connor then holds Lila by her throat, and the power goes out. The Beast has arrived at Wolfram Hart. At the Hyperion, Cordelia arrives to tell Angel that Connor thinks he's connected to the Beast. The gang sans Wesley starts researching. Angel acts cold and distant toward Cordelia. The Beast starts slaughtering everyone at Wolfram Hart. The Beast even finds Gavin in a supply closet and snaps his neck. The Beast then goes after Lila and stabs her in the side. Connor shows up and attacks the Beast, but he is brushed aside. Lila takes this opportunity to escape and runs into Wesley. Wesley takes her, and with his help, they escape Wolfram Hart from the same supply closet that Gavin was killed in. When they fully escape, Lila tells Wesley that Connor is still trapped inside. Wesley goes to Hyperion and informs Angel. The troops are rallied except for Lorne and Cordelia. Wesley takes them back to the escape that he left with Lila. This, for some reason, doesn't lead them to the third floor, but rather the lobby. The team then makes their way up to Connor and on the third floor. Unbeknownst to any of them, the dead Wolfram Hart employees are beginning to wake back up. Angel finds Connor just by the time that the zombies start to attack. A couple floors down, Wesley and Fred are also attacked. The zombies are not at all a threat, but the team makes it hard on themselves by not killing them with their giant swords and axes they are carrying, but punching them instead. Angel says they can't go back the way they came because of the zombies, so whatever. Instead, they decide to go to the White Room and hope that the demon that lives there will teleport them away. They rally in the elevator and transport themselves to the White Room. Inside the White Room, the Beast is in the middle of killing the demon girl. Once the girl is pretty much dead, the Beast turns his attention to Angel and crew. With her last dying breath, the demon sends them away and back to Hyperion. Angel is relieved to know that they are safe and home until he spots Cordelia. Angel broods into his office and Cordelia follows, after she hugs Connor, of course. Angel then tells Cordelia to take her new boyfriend and get the hell out of the hotel. And that's getting the episode.
So is this some, audience wish fulfillment with the last scene with Angel?
Okay, sure. So this is my question. Do you think Angel, despite how you feel about Cordelia and Connor, do you think Angel's being unfair or is justified in his anger?
I literally wrote in my notes, is he being a petulant child
he is.
or an upset father?
It could be both.
I think it's both, right?
I think he's being petty. I think that's in his character. I will also say it is somewhat cathartic for him to yell at her because, ew, gross. But, again, does he really... So what do you think the anger is mostly coming from?
Well, see, I keep going back and forth.
I think he's angry about it all, and he has a lot to be angry about.
Yeah, and some of the stuff that actually really worked wasn't whenever he was angry, but when he was so weirded out that he was, giving this, completely disturbed look of, what is she doing?
He doesn't want to be around her at all, which is so weird for the show.
Right. And it's so, like, especially on Rewatch, something I've noticed is I'm less angry at Connor and more angry at Cordelia.
Oh yeah, I don't like him yet.
Right.
But I do have this, maybe not sympathy, but I understand where he's coming from, because the first time around it was just like blind hatred and everything. And I'm like, I don't feel sorry for him quite, but I guess I have a little bit of sympathy for him, especially in this episode.
Yeah.
Because she kind of just, she doesn't rape him per se, but she definitely seduces him. Like, there's nothing Connor can really do, or is going to turn that down.
Right, he's already expressed his feelings towards her, and she kind of pushed him away. But
it's not up to Connor to push her away. And he has no kind of... There's nothing wrong with him being attracted to her from his standpoint. Right. It's weird because she raised him when he was a baby, but Connor doesn't remember that, obviously, and it's not like she was ever really in a relationship with Angel. And besides, they're not that close anyway, Connor and Angel.
Right. And I think viewing it through the lens of Angel being his father, like, puts a lot of blame on Cordelia. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is rightfully there. And especially, it's just so weird because they were trying to put that spin on it that she wasn't really his mother, but she totally was. Uh-huh. She was the mother figure, and she was the responsible adult.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be the responsible adult. At the same time...
She's not... no matter what their ages are, she is in a power position over Connor.
Mm-hmm.
She's more mature than Connor, or at least she was. Who knows? I have no idea. I'm happy, I guess, if that's the word I want to use, that she establishes it was a one-time thing. But the show has not told me why it was an anytime thing. Because I don't know why she needed him. Because she initiates that, and when she tells the Connors that he needs it, which, if you look at it that way, sure, he probably did. Because he was pretty distraught.
Yeah.
But she is the aggressor in that. And to break it off, I mean, it's really... It doesn't look good on Cordelia. Right. It looks like she manipulated him. Or used him, which is weird.
Yes.
I don't know what she would use him for.
It does... to me, it did read as she used him.
Yeah.
She did the eek, I slept with the wrong person, wake up, regret in the morning.
There's the reason that it becomes like more kind of, what's the word I want to use? Manipulative, I guess, on Connor's side, is that it was just a one-time thing. Because Connor, obviously, would see this as the start of something where she's saying it's the end of something.
Right.
It's still wrong because she's the adult and he is a child.
And she even points it out that it's
as far as I'm concerned,
he's Angel's son.
Yes. I mean, it's all kinds of messed up. But looking at it from this perspective, it's hard to blame anything on Connor and see it as all Cordelia's fault.
Right.
Which I don't. So you think Angel's anger at her?
It's both. I think you're right.
It's more. To be honest, I think it's more that she slept with someone that wasn't him after mere hours ago telling him that she's still in love with him but can't be with him.
So you think he's flashing out as the friend-zoned?
I wouldn't put it as friend zone, but yes, I think it's more petty.
You think it's petty?
I think it's mostly petty. I do appreciate that he doesn't treat Connor. Like, he's not angry at Connor at all. That Connor's in trouble, he goes right away. He treats Connor like he's always treated Connor.
That was a huge plus for me, because otherwise, I remember on First Watch being really annoyed by how Angel reacted to the situation. I mean, he has rights to be mad, but he's also being kind of a petulant child, oh, she didn't choose me kind of way. But at the same time, I do like looking at it through the lens of Angel being Connor's father, and feeling betrayed in a sense that Cordelia was like the mother figure because of how that actually lines up. And I really do like the fact that he's not mad at Connor, that he immediately tries to go and save him, and he's relieved to see him still alive. At the same time, the last scene kind of...
Yeah, that sways me more to he's just being petty Angel jerk.
Right.
Which is fine, because that's Angel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a problem with him being a jerk to Cordelia, because I don't think the show is quite present of how the story makes Cordelia look to what she did to Connor. I don't think they're quite concerned with that. They seem to be more concerned with the love triangle aspect of it, which really I don't see at all, because I feel like Connor's just being a pawn in this whole... How is it even... it's so weird. It's so confusing. Like, why she... It's weird to me that she wakes up and she regrets it.
Yeah.
Not because she shouldn't, but because there seemed to be no hint that... Because it wasn't a moment of, like, passion. It was that she made a concerted effort to sleep with him. She initiates it. She seems to be very clear in her head when she does it. Ugh, God. I really don't want to talk about it, because I'm as sad as it is, I have no interest in anything Cordelia this season.
It's a weird place to put the character. One, she's looking a lot less likable. Like, you put your most likable character, and we had talked about, like, oh yeah, you pair Connor and Cordelia up, maybe you'll get the least likable and the most likable, and maybe it'll kind of help develop Connor. But all that's happened is Cordelia's become more and more unlikable.
To their credit, we're not as down as Connor anymore, but that's because I don't know if it's technically that Connor's gotten better, or there's just far more problematic things going on than Connor. So by comparison, his whininess doesn't seem that bad. And I think the reason the whininess was grating before is because we didn't have a real reason why, but I think they've given enough things that have happened to him that I understand why he's messed up at this point. And like I said, I don't feel quite sorry for him just because it's Connor. And I don't know if they'll ever get over that, but I understand where he's coming from more than I ever have before, because I never understood why he was angry at Angel for banishing him after Connor threw him in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm liking his character more, but I did...
I am either, I just...
The post-coitus bedroom scene, I didn't mind because it felt like it was in character. Like, he does act kind of like a child and like, well, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Exactly, right? But I really did like the clarity of when he's acting like a child, but then he says, you're saying that I can't be with you. Mm-hmm. So at least he's not dumb.
Yeah.
He may be dumb, but he's not dumb.
He's not that stupid.
Yeah.
And then when he's really concerned about the Beast and what it means about him, because I think that's something really interesting about Connor that hasn't really been touched on, that he's the supposedly human son of two vampires. He doesn't know what he is.
I think that was a huge plus to the story that they're telling, is by wrapping Connor up into it. It's making his character more interesting, and I like the idea of him being tied to this overall story. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that he goes to find answers. It gives him some kind of agency and urgency, like that he's going to go out and try and get answers for himself. And I really appreciate
he's done things before, but most of those things are trying to murder Angel.
Right.
So it's nice that he's doing something that doesn't involve murdering Angel.
Yeah, and it's something that would be developing his character. You know, giving him a past and a sense of purpose of, like, why is he here?
And then I think it works at the end when he is a part of the 4 people. When they're all facing down the beast, I don't think Connor's, despite what Angel tells Cordelia, I don't think Connor is going to be quite as banished as he was before. He might be, I don't know. I don't think Angel can be around Cordelia.
Which indirectly, well, but he's also kicking Connor out. That's the only thing that, like, pokes a hole in my, like, he's the upset father, is that he's, like, telling Connor to get the hell out as well by association.
Well, he's telling Cordelia to take Connor away. Which I think, I can understand. I mean, I don't understand. I understand it, because it's weird. It is unfortunate, because I think that Connor, I won't say he's benefited from sleeping with Cordelia and that whole thing, but I think he's at a point with this whole beast thing. What I'm trying to say is I'd rather see him with Angel than with Cordelia at this point.
Uh-huh.
And I'm afraid he'll just be with Cordelia again. Even if they're not together. Oh, God. Okay.
All right. So, how did you feel about Lila in this?
I loved it.
Surprise.
No, I did. You didn't?
I'm kind of mixed. I like. I really love the black and white gray speech.
Mm-hmm. It is my favorite Lila line of the series.
And I like that she gets obviously angry about Wesley just breaking up with her. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if does it feel a little sudden, Wesley suddenly breaking up with her?
No, because I feel like it's been building that he's not comfortable being with her.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like who he is when he's with her. And there's this apocalypse that is here now, so it gives him the opportunity to do what he can live with himself. Before it was like his pride holding it back.
Uh-huh.
But now I think that I don't know. I think he's gotten over himself a bit.
I guess the only thing that bothered me with Lila was I could wear the glasses again.
Mm-hmm. That didn't bother me, because she's trying to hold on to him. I found it really sad, actually.
Yeah. Wesley's don't embarrass yourself. Mm-hmm. Felt really striking.
I mean, it's kind of insulting to Lila.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a problem with it because the rest of the episode, it's not like she's so distraught that Wesley is broken up with her that she can't do her job. Which would be my issue, and I think they've maintained that she can be attracted to him and have feelings, but that doesn't change
what side she's going to be on.
Which is herself. Or
she does end up later giving him the bit of information that Connor's still in the building.
Yeah, but that's also for herself, because she doesn't tell him when they're in the building. She waits until she is saved and then tells him.
Right.
So I didn't have a problem. Like the only thing with Lila is that after she told Angel that she became that mask that she had to be to survive, she became that years ago. You can't go back on that. But she can still care about people.
Yeah, I like that. She can still show human characteristics while still being, the evil bitch. Mm-hmm. I actually really love the phone call right before Connor shows up, and how Gavin is now being a complete suck-up to Lila.
Not Gavin's dead. In the most unceremonious death scene ever.
That felt very reminiscent of, like, Jurassic Park, the lawyer on the toilet. Mm-hmm. Like,
Well, I really like that he's in the supply closet before you know there's an escape route in the supply closet, and it kind of fits that he's scrambling in the supply closet.
I think is he looking for the escape route?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's why he's like shuffling around. He's on the wrong shelf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's behind him, but he's actually where when they come in, they go to that same shelf, but then they go behind him where the thing is. Why they don't know what wall it's on? Who knows? They know there's an escape route in that room, but they don't know exactly where the lever is, whatever. And it's not like it's hidden that well. It's behind a little bit of toilet paper. But it's best not to look into that. It's best not to wonder why none of Angel Investigations kills the zombies instead of punching them.
Yeah, I definitely wrote down they do a lot of punching with swords in hand.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even their offhand.
No, they have the
sword in hand and they're still punching. And the reason why is that they obviously don't have a budget to decapitate extras.
Yeah.
Or do the special effects for that. The only one that I think we see is Gavin, but that's cut away. We just hear the sound effect.
Which also felt weird. Like they just had to take a second for Gunn to just be like, oh, can't see a guy I know, even if I hate him. Chop. It felt just kind of like a weird they needed to do it for no reason.
Uh-huh. Well, I think that the problem with that is that they haven't killed any of them.
Right.
Except me. The problem with the zombies is that there's no threat level whatsoever.
Exactly.
And the only reason that they've become a threat is because they refuse to kill them. Because Gunn is trapped in that room, and they are descending on him, and he somehow manages to escape. We assume that he kills those ones too.
They also did a weird thing by even acknowledging, they haven't acknowledged the rules with the zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're like, one bit you to Gunn, suddenly they're really worried, but they're like, I don't think it works that way. And so whenever you put the audience in I don't know how it works, again, there's no threat level.
Well, I like that Angel explains that you have to cut off their heads, but then we don't see them cut off anyone's head. Whatever. It's dumb. And it's dumb because before that, the Beast entering Wolfram Heart is so terrifying.
Exactly. I mean, he really is the Terminator, as Gunn makes the reference later. But it's so... I actually really love the first half of this episode.
I really do too. And I don't dislike I actually like the character moments when they rescue Connor, but there is no threat whatsoever if the Beast isn't involved. Like when Angel says, we have to go to the White Room because we can't escape all these dead people. They haven't been an issue so far to get to where you need to be going, but now apparently it is. And I'm even willing to excuse that they go in the escape route, but for some reason they don't end up in the supply closet.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a air duct.
No, don't explain.
Or something.
Because Lila says there's only one way to get out. It's through the supply closet. And then Wesley says later, I only know of two routes to the lobby of the supply closet. So, whatever. It's dumb. But the first, I would say 75% of this, with the Beast coming into Wolfram Heart and just killing everyone. Basically, I don't have a problem with it until Wes and Lila get out of Wolfram Heart, and then once they get back in, they have to slow things down, which I don't have necessarily a problem with yet. But then, with the zombies coming up... I like the slow build to the zombies, and then the zombies come, and they're ridiculous. Right, exactly. You slow the episode down to a halt to try and build some atmosphere and some tension, but then there's no payoff. Yeah. So there's no threat, and then suddenly I'm just kind of twiddling my thumbs, and there's no none of Wolf or Angel Investigations is going to get hurt.
And that it definitely ruins the second half of the episode. Also, I appreciate that they go back to the White Room. Like I actually really like.
I think there's threat once again to the White Room with the Beast when he comes after them. Obviously, I don't. We're getting. I mean, it could. I would say obviously because it doesn't, but I think there is a moment. There's enough tension in that where you think that they're going to get hurt again. Like if they're alone with him.
Yeah, and there's no escape, right?
Yeah.
Like the only thing that I had issue with in that scene, and it's really slight, and maybe it's just a personal problem, but like it's so quiet in the scene, and for some reason the music is really soft that they're actually like I felt less threatening by the Beast walking up on them. Like you could play up that moment a little bit more. It felt strange for them just kind of standing there, and then
I really like the look on Angel and Connor's faces. I wasn't really paying attention to anybody else, so I don't know what their faces look like, but I really liked the way that Connor and Angel have this kind of same kind of defiant expression when the Beast comes up. Like they know that they're not going to be able to beat him, but they're still going to try.
Yeah.
Which I
think I was drawn to like Fred just kind of being like, eh.
I wasn't looking at Fred, Gunn, and Wesley at all, so I couldn't tell you what they were doing. But I was really almost kind of moved that they were standing on either side, and for the first time I could see that they're actually related, because Connor looks nothing like Angel or Darla.
Right.
But the moment that they're in the same situation and they're responding the same way, I like that.
And something I do really like is the little girl, the answer is among you. Like, it's a nice little cryptic way to push the overall storyline.
Yeah, it's going to make Connor even more paranoid.
Right. Like, I really like simple things like that. They seem to work a lot.
It's not very simple. It's pretty beat you over the head with it.
It's beat you over the head with it, but I mean, as in, because it's that direct, I don't have to feel weird about like
she could be
some
a bit more
X or whatever.
Oh, no. Okay, I don't have a problem with it. But here's what I'm going to disagree with you, that it's direct. Because it's not direct.
Well, no,
it's pretty vague. Like, she could just say what she means.
Sure.
I mean,
it's very cryptic, but I mean...
No, it's cryptic. It's cryptic, and
the line is concise. It's a very simple line that has a lot of meaning behind it. Maybe I'm doing a very poor job of trying to explain why I like it, but...
No, I understand why you like it. I'm just saying that it is a bit manipulated to get you to cause some paranoia. But then again, you have to consider who the source is. Even though she saves them, she's not on their side.
Right.
And I'm thinking the reason that she saves them is because Wolfram Hart has plans for Angel. The senior partners do.
Right.
And I don't know why she doesn't just save Angel, but that's, don't look into that. Why does the Beast take his time killing Lila instead of just snapping her neck? Like he did.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. He, jabs his finger in her. Mm-hmm. That's gross. Yeah, there's a lot of, questions that I don't mind that the episode brings up,
there's a fair number of just ignoring things. Logic problems.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Because I like when it works, it works really well. And if you just forget everything involving Cordelia, this is a fine episode.
Well, it's an interesting place to put your two leads. Is it? Well,
is it?
We've never seen Angel this pissed at Cordelia.
True.
I mean,
Is it interesting?
Having Angel this mad at Cordelia is in direct contrast with every other time we've seen him.
Sure. But the reason why he's angry at her?
Okay, the reasons behind it I do not like at all.
Okay.
But putting him in that emotional space...
Yes, it is different.
it's different. And as
And
long as it's not
different can be-
petulant child.
I think that's fine, because that's Angel. Angel, the show, has never compromised that Angel, the character, is not always that likable.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with him being a petulant child. Then again, I don't know if we're supposed to root for him when he tells her to get the hell out.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Because I don't know how they think we're supposed to feel about Connor and Cordelia. I don't know why it's there. I don't know what we're supposed to think. Like, are we supposed to think that she used him? Are we supposed to feel bad for Connor? Are we supposed to think that Connor's some type of romantic rival? Are we supposed to... What are we supposed to think? Why is this happening?
Well, I think, just the little evidence that we get in this episode, Cordelia, as much as she's like, this is wrong, we can't do it again, she obviously has feelings for him. Like the way she embraces him once that they get back into the hotel.
I'm going to throw up.
It just kind of is what it is. And I love getting Angel's reaction of he must feel like he's in Bizarro world. He's like, what the heck is happening? He's like, oh crap, I'm back in this situation again. I'm going to run away.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, he also has the when he's directly talking to Cordelia, he has these little snide remarks. It's like, yeah, everyone's tired. I wonder why. He acts like a little teenage boy. He acts like Connor in maturity level sometimes.
He is that emotionally mature.
Yeah, I like both sides of it. You can be consistent with his character being that mature and having those little remarks, but I also think he does have some kind of justification with him being Connor's father and the role Cordelia had in his upbringing. That
if that comes up in a future episode, then I think it can work. I think his primary reason for being angry is the romantic, jealous aspect of it.
Yeah, see, I'll have a problem with that if that's the continue.
I don't have a problem with that because that's Angel to me.
Huh.
Because he can be unlikable and petty, and that's just Angel. And I think he doesn't have a right to be nasty to her.
Yeah.
But he does have a right to be angry.
Yeah.
So, my issue with him, and again, I don't have an issue with it because it's supposed to be unlikable, I think. I don't necessarily think that we're supposed to cheer for him as much as you and I are cheering because we find what Cordelia did to Connor kind of repugnant.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is I don't think the show thinks that, which is a problem. But I don't think they think that Angel telling her to get the hell out is a good thing.
Yeah, maybe it's supposed to be, oh no, they're not getting together.
Oh god. I don't even... No, I think you're just supposed to think that Angel is being petty. And he's being...
Everything's going wrong.
Everything is going wrong. The one... I don't think it comes up in feedback at all, but I do... The more than probably getting into this, because I've written off this whole thing with Cordelia and Angel and Connor. I'm just done with it. But the one thing that I am still invested in romantic-wise that I'm worried about is when Cordelia and Fred hugs Gunn because she's happy he's alive, and then she's like, I'm happy you're all safe, and she looks at Wesley, and then she's trying to talk to Wesley later, and he kind of brushes her off, and that makes me very, very nervous.
Yeah, the one thing that I noted on, they had this big fight, but because there's this world-ending thing, they get drawn back together, and she immediately forgets about it.
I think she's immediately forgot. I think she can't have that. She can't say, so I was going to break up with you before this.
Right.
But...
Well, what I was going to bring up is, whenever they cut back to Gunn tapping the pin, she, snaps at him, and then she's all like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Mm-hmm. That means all of those problems are still on the surface.
Yeah, and Gunn...
They just got pushed down for a little bit.
Well, Gunn is not... Gunn is not hiding how he feels about Wesley at all.
You're right.
So that Gunn's issue definitely is Wesley. I'm worried that Fred's issue is also Wesley. Because I'm fine with Fred's issue being Gunn's issue as Wesley, in that she is annoyed that he thinks that she's going to leave him for Wesley, and she's really not.
She does do, like, she had the, like, oh, wow, inside information on Wolfram and Hart. That's pretty impressive.
That is what I'm worried. Because they make a point of her doing that, and then when she says, I'm glad you're all safe, and she's not looking at Lauren, she's looking at Wesley.
Uh-huh.
So I'm worried that I'm fine with Gunn's paranoia breaking them apart. I'm not fine with Gunn's paranoia actually being true.
Yeah, maybe like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That could be fine too, eventually.
Yeah.
But the reason that Fred obviously wanted to break up with him, or she was seriously considering it when she was in that diner, and we don't know why.
She just had to get some air.
Yeah, she was going to break up with him. We saw what she was getting at. She was considering breaking up with him. We don't know why. And we talked about it last night. My fear is why. And then I said it can't be that she wants to be with Wesley.
No, as long as whatever. That they'll have to earn it. As long as they keep slowly doing things, I don't have a problem with it.
That's why I don't know. They could get, hypothetically, we could get to a point now that Wesley is back where they could be together, and that could be earned. I'll agree with you. But would you be fine if the reason that she broke up with, or is considering breaking up with Gunn last episode, is because she thinks she's more like Wesley than Gunn?
Huh.
Because that is my problem.
No, I don't like making the direct comparison, but if she feels like their personalities are different people now.
Gunn and Fred?
Yeah, Gunn and Fred.
Well, yeah. My problem is that if it becomes that she leaves Gunn for Wesley.
Yes, that would be a huge issue.
That's what I'm getting at. You can eventually earn that, but the reason that there are problems in their relationship can't be that she is in love with Wesley now for some reason.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the episode that you want to bring up? I did like just a small thing, but when they go into Wolfram and Hart, the kind of horror movie aesthetic, the way they had the lighting and everything else, they had the kind of weird drifty panning thing, a lot of the shots of panning over the dead bodies. I think it really helped try and create atmosphere and tension, which worked really well with the Terminator, the Beast, but again, once we get back in, the fact that the zombies have no stakes kind of killed all the tension. But I did really like the atmosphere at first.
Okay. So now feedback. First up, we had Kathleen, who said, not a bad teaser to start the app, with Angel venting some anger frustration at the Angel writers for thinking it would be a good storyline if Cordy and Connor hooked up. The fact that Fred and Gunn still haven't talked about him killing the professor 3 episodes is irking me. So Cordy goes from seducing Connor to, oh god, what the hell did I do, within a matter of hours. And we're meant to believe that she only slept with him because the reasons why it was a mistake didn't matter when the world was ending. All Lila seriously cares for Wesley. Way to break her icy heart, Wes. Interesting move by the Beast to destroy Wolfram and Hart office. Of course, Lila has to make it through the massacre. Too bad they didn't kill her off. Would have been more of a shock than zombified Gavin. I do like that they left the episode with us seeing the Beast was after, but left it hanging as to what he took from the White Room girl. I love the double take. Lauren's double take at the gang reappearing and looking at his martini. Meh at the non-cliffhanger of Cordy learning that Angel knows. So, thank you, Kathleen. I will say I'm glad that Angel told her.
Yeah, I probably would have gone insane if he was just making slide remarks for the rest of a couple of episodes.
And I think she kind of knows when he leaves her. at Wolfram Hart. I mean, at
Yeah,
Hyperion.
she gives a weird look.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So I do like. I would have been very annoyed if he was just pissy and she never found out why.
Right. I really like. I like that scene for the little dark comedy of like, you can't go, it's too dangerous. Hurry up, Fred.
Oh, I didn't like that.
You didn't like that? I thought it was so funny.
I didn't like it because it drew the comparison into my mind, which we know. It's not like it's a secret that they brought Fred on because it was a sausage fest, but then that Fred has somehow replaced Cordelia as the one girl in the group, because there can only be one.
Huh.
That's what it bothered me about.
Yeah, okay.
Because it drew the comparison that, I don't know, that Fred and Cordelia, because Fred has been promoted while Cordelia has been demoted, like they couldn't be on equal footing.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. I didn't have a problem with it in terms of the story aspect, just because of where Angel's at emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely see some issues with that. Or that being kind of exemplified by the actions that took place. I do like the Beast, like, power draining the White Room girl.
Mm-hmm. And I like that we find out that he probably just killed everyone in Wolfram Hart just cause his real mission was to find the White Room girl.
Yeah, but it's really disturbing that he, like, kills everyone in the building.
And what we haven't really talked about why I think that's so good, because as much as the Angel is allowed to just go in and out of Wolfram Hart, they've always been pretty strong that Wolfram Hart, you can't take them down. Like, eventually, Angel would get caught.
Right.
But the Beast has no problems.
Yeah, and there's just something really disturbing about the kind of claustrophobic aspect of it. Like,
and
the fact that...
I know, it just occurred to me that they've killed off their main villain.
Yeah.
I mean, the senior partners aren't dead, but Wolfram Hart won't exist. At least it'll need to be rebuilt, because everyone is dead in the LA branch.
They've cut off at least the human connection to Wolfram and Hart.
I mean, Lila's still around.
Lila's still around.
But I don't think, without underlings, there's not a whole lot she can do.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think you could kill. I wouldn't like Lila to be killed off as in the same way that Gavin is. Because you're not even quite clear that Gavin's dead until you see his body later.
Yeah.
There is a crunch.
I mean, it sounds like his next.
It sounds like it, but it's not like there doesn't seem a whole lot of motion in his neck snapping. He just kind of gets thrown. And it's not like I don't think we needed a prolonged death scene for Gavin.
No, we didn't.
But I don't think you could kill off Lila after Wesley breaks up with her. That feels a little wrong to me.
Right, like we've used her for the story purposes that we needed. We could brush her off.
Wesley's gotten back with Wolfram Hart. She's fine to kill off.
Also, she's been such a good bad guy to have. Like,
season 4 has been really good for Lila so far.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wouldn't want her dead from the Beast. And again, the zombies are ridiculous anyways.
Yeah, if you killed her off with the zombies, I'd feel really bad.
Yeah, for that.
I guess if we had seen the zombies kill anything, it would have been fine. Like, they found one Wolfram and Hart lawyer that didn't die. Oh, please, you gotta help me. And then that lawyer gets devoured by zombies.
That would have been fine. I think it's a good moment when Gunn gets overwhelmed. But then Gunn, moments later, is fine.
Yeah, I had more of an issue with that just because it already had no stakes. So I felt no... It's because it has the weird one bit you. Well, I don't think it works that way.
Yeah. Well, that is a weird moment, too.
So it, like, takes the tension out of, I'm sacrificing myself. Go. And of course,
Wes can't really hurt me.
And Wes is like, we got to get you out of here. I'm totally doing this for non-selfish reasons.
Yeah, whatever. All right.
Anything else in Kathleen's?
I do love Lorne looking at the martini when they show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So next up we have Alicia, who says, the good. Wesley's face when he sees Fred and Gunn is sad. Ringmaster tonight's Cirque de Flambe. Wesley is coming to his senses. Boil you alive. Shut up. Connor is like Angel sinking into Wolfram Hart, knows exactly where Lila's office is, and threatens her. Connor telling Lila, I told you. This was the first episode I actually liked Gavin. Me. Sergeant stay at home, volunteering for duty, sir. Fred looks hurt that Angel tells Cordelia it's dangerous, and I don't want to get hurt, then says, let's go, Fred. Looks dead. He is dead, technically. Undead. It's a zombie. What's a zombie? It's an undead thing. Like you? No, it's different. Trust me. Angel kicking Gavin in the face. Angel explaining zombies to Connor, what they are, how to kill them. Hello, photographic memory. Well, at least they're not forgetting Angel has photographic memory that we just learned he had a couple episodes ago. Connor's saying dad after they teleport back to the hotel. I like that. Now take your new boyfriend and get the hell out. Bad. Seriously, Wesley thinks losing to this demon is like losing Fred to Gunn. Cordelia and Connor waking up, but at least Cordelia feels bad she slept with Connor. And that's the end of her comment. Thank you, Alicia.
I wanted to mention that I really like... I mean, the real one thing I didn't like when I first watched it, Connor and Angel joking, or Connor teasing Angel about the zombies, because it made the zombies seem like not a threat, but then the zombies weren't a threat anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. But
I really do like Connor kind of teasing Angel in a father-son way.
Right, yeah.
Because he's even smiling when Angel says that zombies are undead things who crave human flesh, and Connor says, oh, so like you.
They're stupid and slow.
Yeah, I really like Connor doing that, because Connor can still be kind of bratty in that way, but he can't be like, you ruined my life.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah.
He can be this standard teenage brat where he still kind of cares about Angel, even if it's not. He won't admit it to himself. Like, you can tell in this episode that he does have affection for Angel. It kind of just bothers him that he does.
Right. The fact that, whenever they first fight, or whenever they first get there, they exchange a few punches, but the fact that Angel kind of grabs him and embraces him.
Well, they exchange a few punches because Connor doesn't know who's attacking him.
Right.
It's not like he's punching Angel.
But them having hugging and everything. I actually really like that moment too.
Mm-hmm. And Connor does seem happy to see him, or at least he's not angry to see him, and he's certainly done that before.
Something I did want to bring up that wasn't in her comment, but I really liked that the Beast says Connor. I thought that was really creepy and worked really well.
Has the Beast has talked?
He has said he told Angel, "You don't think you can protect him?" Or
that's
something
right.
Along those lines.
Yeah, he said something
ominous and threatening.
Yeah, ominous and threatening to Angel. Yeah, I remember that, but I think that's... So he said that and Connor, and that's about it?
That's it.
Okay. He has a very...
He's kind of made little growly noises.
Yeah, well, he sneers a lot.
Grrr.
I really wish the Beast sounded like that. Grrr.
It makes some weird noise right before he snaps Gavin's neck.
Mm-hmm. He made that same kind of noise when he saw Cordelia in the alley.
Yeah.
It's one of his noises. Anyway.
All right, so next up we have a voicemail from Joseph.
Hey guys, it's Joseph calling about Habeas Corpses. First I want to say I think you have really kind of hit the nail on the head for Season 4 so far. If the Cordy love triangle is a big problem for you, that's a big problem. But everything else about the season is awesome. The characterization is awesome. The action is awesome. And I want to give the show real credit for building tension so far. It was sort of a running joke on Buffy, literally in the Zeppo, that there were so many apocalypses and they're all kind of silly. You know, some other person has a spell, and in the space of 2 or 3 episodes, Buffy has to stop that spell from destroying the world over and over and over again. And, you know, at this time, Buffy Season 7 is occurring in parallel with Angel Season 4, and on Season 7 they are really trying hard to build the tension that, no, this apocalypse really matters, and I think failing. So I have to give Angel Season 4 credit, starting with Lorne working through Cordy's visions, and then through sort of escalating action and just the unstoppability of the Beast is awesome. The Beast rampaging through Wolfram and Hart was just a game changer and really exciting, and the Beast seems really threatening, notwithstanding his stupid feet, and just great. The action was terrific, the humor was really good, starting with the legal pun to name the episode, and working through "Come on, Fred," and Angel's off screen, building smashing. It was all great. I also want to give credit to all the acting. The high point for me is just the look that Wesley gives Gunn when Gunn says, "Oh yeah, I'll be happy to kill you." It's just really nice acting by Denisof, because it's really just kind of in the moment. It's just, come on, dude. As for Wesley leaving Gunn on the other side of the door, I thought that was really in character. We've seen he's willing to sacrifice people. It may also be about trying to separate Gunn from Fred, but like I said, all the way back in Pylea, or even in Buffy, it's been in Wesley's character that he's more than happy to sacrifice a couple people for what he sees as the greater good. And I guess that takes us to the love triangle. Now I can finally say that when Derek first introduced teenage Connor, he called him a mother humper about 6 times. I haven't watched Mad Men, so this might be a good time to address whether that was an oblique spoiler or whether it's a Mad Men in-joke. Either way, I don't know. I have to admit, I've never been too involved with Cordy over a long period. I think she's had great moments of her character, but then they tend to slip away. And I'm not that excited by the romance. It's sort of like Friends, where, hey, we're 2 good-looking people who kind of get along, so maybe we have a love for the ages. And just like on Friends, I just can't get that excited about whether Rachel and Joey can make it, and I'm not that excited about whether Angel and Cordy can make it. But the love triangle still kind of makes no sense. I guess what they're telling us in the moment is that Cordy was upset about the end of the world, and maybe there was a pity sex element in it, that she knew that Connor really wanted to be with somebody. But it seems out of character enough that I'm just not involved. When Wesley or Gunn or Angel or Fred make bad decisions, they're bad decisions that are completely consistent with their character, which gives them kind of a tragic element and makes them interesting. Maybe Cordy is the kind of person who would sleep with somebody if she thought the world was about to end and he really wanted to, but it's not anything that we've seen. It's not sort of consistent with her core character traits in a very clear way, so it kind of doesn't work. And therefore, they went for the romance stinger ending on the triangle here, and I just wasn't that involved. Like, when Angel asked, when Cordy asked, were we in love, that is a great ending and really involved me. When Angel says, take your boyfriend and get out, I'm like, that plot again. Maybe we can get back to the action next episode. But still, I am more consistently happy with more of these episodes than I can think of maybe any season, except for maybe the last few of Buffy Season 1 and the last few of Buffy Season 2. And they're not at the last few yet. If they can keep this rising action going, this season is going to be awesome.
So, thank you, Joseph.
Mm-hmm. What was I going to say? I had a lot of things to say, but there's one thing I wanted to say again. Oh, me calling Connor a mother humper. Probably was a spoiler. Probably just because I like saying mother humper. Also, mostly because I can't say what mother humper, really, the explicit version of that.
I honestly can't remember whenever you were bringing that up.
Oh, I brought it up. I called him a Peter Pan mother humper.
Oh, yeah.
I've called him the explicit version of that off podcast, as you know, several times. So,
yeah.
Yeah, when he first shows up in the rags.
Great. It was a really good voicemail from Joseph. He brought up a lot of good points, and I definitely, like, if you can divorce your feelings about the Cordelia
Well, he obviously
situation,
doesn't have that many feelings about the Cordelia situation to begin with.
Right. But I do think he's right about like the consistency of the episodes and the way they are building up tension has been something that you can definitely notice that has been the strength so far this season.
Yeah.
Like, the unstoppable Terminator beast has worked really well.
And it works well even if the zombies are stupid and there's logic problems in this episode. Like, I don't feel that the threat has been in any way lessened. I still think they're building tension, and we have a lot of the season to go.
And I think something that's really making this apocalypse work more than, say, something on Buffy or whatever, it is the fact that you have that threatening bad guy, that he can go in and take out your big arch nemesis without really even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just kind of, the way he just kind of just like walks, he's just kind of stalking. He's like,
well, I think
I'll take my time.
Why it works is what just brings up, like, Buffy was always about these scrappy teenagers saving the world, where Angel doesn't do that. It's not about saving the world. It's about saving people's souls, and in that way, making a difference in the world. Because Angel is much more personal. It's about... Angel doesn't change the world with what he does, where Buffy really just changes Sunnydale, but Sunnydale is the entire world on Buffy.
Yeah, at least for that show.
Yeah. So Angel can't affect LA in that same way, which is what he realized in season 2, that if nothing we do matters, all that matters is what we do. They don't have global or even bigger threats outside of one person on the show before.
Right.
This is really the first time we've had an apocalypse.
And it feels like they're kind of out of their element.
Yeah. They don't know how to deal with it because they're really just an paranormal investigations team. They're not a superhero team like Buffy is.
And the way that even the way they're addressing the situation is, well, we need to regroup and try and fight the thing. Yeah. Well, how do you kill the unstoppable thing? But literally, Angel's telling them, if you see the beast, run.
Yeah, they're not trying to fight him. They're the 2 times. Well, they did try to fight him and they lost. But this episode, he does not want to fight the beast. He wants to get Connor and get the hell out. Right.
So it's a really good way of consistently having the threat of the bad guy and how your characters react to the bad guy.
Because Buffy had a unstoppable beast thing, and she just tried to punch it, and it didn't work. And it just became sort of...
And then eventually it did work.
Eventually it did work. But it just goes repetitive, where Buffy tries again to punch things that won't matter if she punches, and she gets her ass beat.
Right.
Until they decide, it needs to work now because it's the end of the season. Which, again, that could happen. But I hope it doesn't. And what you said is that everyone reacts to the beast in an appropriate way.
Something that Joseph brings up, like, he seems like he wasn't as attached to Cordelia's character even before.
Well, he doesn't seem like it. I think he stated he wasn't.
Well, on first watch, I think I was very much more in line with where he was.
Okay.
Because I wasn't as...
I don't understand
as much as I like her lines on Buffy, I wasn't that attached to the character.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Rewatch, I've really grown to see the kind of strength that she has, and like
that could
how
just
good
be
of
because you got to listen to me for like 3 hours a week.
I mean, probably
Talk about her.
That's what's happened.
So that I could be. I don't understand people who don't love Cordelia or don't love every. Because he says, I understand what he's saying, that she's had good moments, but it hasn't been consistent enough for him, and I could see that.
I can, but I think they have done a good job.
Cued into her character, and
Right.
have been since Buffy. So even if it's not particularly there, I will make it there.
Well, I think they do a good job on this show.
Mm-hmm. They've certainly done a better job here, because they tried to do that in Buffy too, where she had an arc, but I would admit that she doesn't. She just kind of has moments, and they just have Cordelia around for plot reasons, not a specific arc like she has on Angel.
Mm-hmm.
As for now, though, like I don't care.
Yeah, they're not doing her character any favors.
I don't care about her. I don't care about the romance. I'm done. And that's really sad, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, it's such a shame. I mean, it's almost like a slow death to the character.
Oh yeah,
you mind wiped her, then you brought her back, and she's not even acting like
mm-hmm.
her. You know,
character assassination is something that the internet likes to throw around a lot when something happens that they don't like.
Yeah,
but is in character. This is just character assassination, plain and simple. It's not Cordelia.
Yeah, I kind of am okay with the waking up in the morning, eek. I made a mistake. Like, I could see that being a Cordelia thing, but the fact that we slept together because
I could see her regretting it.
Yeah.
The problem with the regret is that it didn't happen in a way that she would regret. Like, she was not compromised when she slept with Connor. She is very clear in her intention, and she initiates it. Like, he doesn't really understand. He's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I'm talking about sexing you up.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Yes.
We're just going to do it.
Yeah.
Just go with it, boy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
God.
Yeah.
She even calls it a puppy dog.
Well, she says that to Angel, too, sometimes, and that particular line didn't bother me, because she's called people with puppy dog faces before. Like, that's something you say you don't really think they're juvenile. Just looking at it with it. When she calls him a sweetie pie, that I have more of an issue, because that's something you call a child.
Does not sound like Cordelia.
Well, it sounds like Cordelia, but it's not.
Oh no, he's a sweetie pie.
Well, it sounds like Cordelia, but it doesn't sound like someone that Cordelia would have sex with.
I'm gonna sex you up.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway, oh God, where's Gru? Like, because all right, if we're gonna talk, Gru was an interesting character in the fact that he was subservient to her, but he never seemed like a child, even though he was pretty innocent.
Yeah.
And this is just like, ugh.
Ugh.
Just like, oh God, it's like Star Wars Episode 2, but like so much worse. Oh God. Anyway, okay. I really want Connor to say, I hate sand, it's coarse and it gets everywhere. Oh, God. Okay. Who is more annoying, Anakin or Connor? Because right now, Anakin's beating him.
Anakin, I think Anakin's more annoying.
Yeah, because Connor so far has not been that bad.
You know, if we hadn't done Rewatch, I probably would have immediately said Connor.
Yeah, but now, well, we still got some time.
We got some time to go.
You could ruin it, but right now he's setting it up pretty nicely. I mean, that's not much of a competition to beat Anakin Skywalker, but you know,
little orphan Annie.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So first up, we have an old comment from somebody new, just Kate, who said, She's talking about Apocalypse Now. She said, "Hi guys, I've loved the Buffyverse all my life. Watched and rewatched both series many times. Recently stumbled upon the Buffy rewatch and now the Angel rewatch. I'm glad I caught you guys now because I have so many opinions to voice and missed the chance to do so while the Buffy rewatch was airing." Felt nice. Anyway, Apocalypse Now is and always will be one of my favorite Angel episodes. The way the puzzle pieces come together is masterful, not just for the impending apocalypse, but for the gang itself. Gunn and Fred, Connor and Cordy, Angel and Cordy, Wes and Lila, the gang, Wes, etc. For me, this point in season 4 where everything finally clicks. I'm so glad we get a payoff for all the material that's sucked out of Lauren's head from I think she means Wolfram and Hart.
Yeah, she just put Wolfram in Hart.
Yeah. Anyway, it makes sense as to why Lauren was so upset by it at the time, and yet it makes me wonder why, in the face of such an impending doom, Lauren wouldn't warn Angel and the gang. I also love that Gunn is the one who cracks the code with those papers from Hart. On the DVD commentary, one of the writers, I think Stephen S. Knight, explains that it had to be Gunn to remind everyone that he's more than just A, muscle, and B, Fred's lover, which I personally think is always a welcome reminder. It reminds me of potential spoiler warning, but it's not, because we said everything before. Season 4 is fair game. Anyway, so in the third episode of Buffy Season 3, where Buffy loses her powers, kills a vampire with only holy water, reminding us that she's just more than just her slayer strength. I want to avoid talking about Cordy and Connor because I know that you guys will cover all our icky feelings about it, but I will say that I found it disappointing after Spin the Bottle, which was an episode focused on the characterization of Cordelia and Sunnydale, then afterwards, that they would do this. Even after she spent all the time in the creepy taxidermist loft with Connor, with her Anisha, the original Cordelia would never do that. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I mean, I was thinking about that before we were talking about the puppy dog thing, that, like, high school Cordelia, if she learned that she slept with Connor, would be so disgusted.
She makes some, like, snide remarks in Spin the Bottle, right?
Well, she does.
She's like, you're not my usual thing.
Yeah, she says it, but she tells him that, I forget what she said. She says something that he's like...
She'll give him a reward,
yeah,
or something like that.
Mm-hmm. When he goes to attack Angel. He's like, well, okay. I'll do that.
Oh, shucks.
He's so gross.
He's so... God, yeah.
So,
he's creepy.
But
he stalks around everything, and that's kind of his...
That's fine that he's creepy, because he's a child. Like, I don't have any problem with him, like, kind of, hey, baby, in the morning.
Moonizing her?
Yeah, because he's a child.
Oh, God. Yeah, something that they have been pretty good at this season has been kind of setting up the pieces. Mm-hmm. More so than in previous seasons. Like, there is kind of the stakes of the world seem pretty big. And it could be the fact that we haven't really dealt with an apocalypse up until this point, that all the villains have been a little bit smaller on Angel, but...
Well, they've been more... The pieces have actually built on one another, as opposed to the only thing I can think of a piece is the Shanshu prophecy, which is just vague, or it's just some kind of prophecy, like the father will kill the son.
Yeah.
That is the kind of pieces we've gotten before, where this is like things happen and then something else happens that builds on top of that, and then you layer it.
Yeah, there is a kind of like spiraling effect that's going on this season, where they feel out of their depth and not in control, mm-hmm. and things are going bad.
But the writing behind the season feels like we're actually going somewhere, as opposed to season 3 when the father would kill the son, and that whole prophecy thing they just threw crap in there that changed things, and there was no kind of consistent logic to it. Where now we knew something was coming, it's the beast came now, but he rose where Connor was born, and then the demon girl says the answer is among you. We're building to something.
Yes. It's working very well. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Oh, the one thing I wanted to say. That I didn't... This episode, Lorne says that the thing that he saw... Fred asks him if the beast is the thing that he saw. And he says yes. And I was under the impression that Lorne didn't know what he saw after they mind-sucked him.
Yeah, it's not like he re-gets those memories.
Yes. And that's why it comes up in Kate's comment that he didn't tell them. And because he didn't know, and he refused to read Cordelia again, which was a weird moment, whatever. But he refused to read Cordelia again because he didn't want to get attacked again. Which, by the way, I really like that he volunteers to stay.
Yeah.
Because that's how I would react. But, especially after he got his ass handed to him by the beast.
Maybe it's more like when he saw the beast, he gets some of that information back. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a huge plot hole.
It's not a huge one, but it came up in Kate's comment, reminded me that she was bothered that he didn't tell them, but I thought that he didn't know what to tell them.
Yeah, like...
He told them something bad was coming. He didn't know anything more specific than that. At least that was my impression of it. Or that's what they told us, actually. It's not even my impression. That's what they told us.
Right, and they've never really been that straightforward with his readings.
Yeah,
it's not like we get to see his visions or whatever, like Cordelia would have.
We know Cordelia's visions are like images, and she gets feelings and things. But Lorne, he just kind of reads people and tells them where to go. We don't know how that exactly works.
This does feel more like character assassination with Cordelia the more I think about it.
I don't want to talk
because literally
about it.
You're literally having Lauren kind of take her spot as the mystic reader. Oh, God, so bad.
She hasn't had a single vision. And she still has those powers as far as we know. Ugh. Okay, anyway.
She had that one vision with Angel there, because her eyes went wide and she saw the beast.
Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry, she had one vision. And she had a weird dream with Connor. Anyway, next up, we don't really have feedback, but Alicia sent us Amy Acker's screen test and some deleted scenes. And the reason I wanted to point out Amy Acker's screen test, which we can post it because these are on YouTube, but they're also on the DVD. So if you have the DVD, watch it. But I think it's in the season. Actually, I think Amy Acker's screen test might be in the season 3 final DVD. Or might be in season 4. I don't know. But what? It should be in season 3 because she joined in season 3, right? Am I forgetting that?
The end of season 3, she showed up.
No, she showed up in the end of
No place like Plattsburgh.
She showed up in the end of season 2.
Oh, yeah, end of season 2.
So she was in all of season 3.
Whoa.
Was she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it should be... It doesn't matter where it is. We have the YouTube link if you want to see it. But have you watched it?
No.
Okay. So what I find interesting about it is a scene that does not exist in any episode, as far as I remember. And it certainly didn't exist when she was brought on. And she's not acting like crazy Fred. She's acting like the Fred we have now. So I'm thinking the intention always was to make her more normal. But what is interesting about it is that there's some kind of spell that Fred and Wesley and Gunn are under where they're like in love with Fred, but they speak in Shakespearean. It's a funny scene, but what I find interesting is that from the very beginning they obviously had an intention of pairing her up with Gunn and Fred. If they had a screen test where they wanted to do chemistry between the three of them.
Huh. Well, that's cool. I think I've seen the scene before because them talking Shakespearean thing actually sounds really familiar.
Yeah, it's funny, but I find it interesting that the screen test would have been before they brought her on, or in the final stages of it. And they have this scene ready to go where she is the object of affection between Fred why do I keep saying Gunn and... It doesn't help that she has a masculine name, because I keep calling her Gunn and Wesley.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I guess that's good. They had an idea of
I don't think it's
the stories they wanted to tell.
I don't think it's good because I think they were so in love with the idea of Wesley and her being in a relationship that they never bothered, or Wesley being attracted to her, that they never bothered to tell us why.
Oh, to put the footwork in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just assumed that everyone would get it, which we didn't.
Well, I got it on first watch.
Yeah, well, you're a weirdo.
Yeah, I know. Anything else from feedback?
New.
Okay. So, favorite moment scores?
Yeah. Sure. That's a thing we do.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first?
I'm probably going with the Lila Gray speech. I think that was probably the best moment in the episode, both as her character kind of being pissed off at Wesley, but it's just a really good line. And it kind of fits so true to the story of the show and Wes's character at this point.
Yeah. No, mine is the same. Because I mainly just for that's the thing about gray, it doesn't matter how much white you put in, all you're ever going to get is gray. Because I like it for what it means for Wesley. But the reason I really like it is she's talking about herself.
Yeah.
In that moment. That she shouldn't be redeemable because I don't, there's enough of those stories, but I don't think that she sees herself as redeemable anyway. She doesn't think, it's not even that she wants to be. It's that she can't, because she's who she is. She's
doubling down on the I became the master a long time ago.
Yeah, she's doubling down. Mm-hmm. Yup.
No, yeah, it's a really good moment. I mean, there are other things in the episode, but I felt like the Beast taking down Wolfram and Hart was kind of an elongated scene.
You mean it's
like it?
You mean it's like 20 minutes?
Exactly. So
really
something really concise and nice moment felt like that. Otherwise, I would have gone with him terminating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that is a whole sequence of events that is multiple scenes. It's not really a moment.
Right.
We've stretched definition of moment several times.
Yes, we have.
Okay. Great. Scores. I'm going to give this one a 69.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, don't question me.
No, okay. No. Go ahead. Explain.
I'm going to give it a 69 because I really enjoyed all the Beast parts, and I thought there was a nice building of tension, but as I've said, there's a lot of logic problems that don't really bother me, but they bother me enough that I notice them. I think it's more of an episode where the emotional things work better than the actual plot of the episode.
Uh-huh.
But then the actual plot of the episode's not that great.
See, I just had a really big issue with the pacing of the third act. Like, once the gang gets back into Wolfram and Hart, I like the slow build, but the non-threat of the zombies really killed the tension for me. And even, I still felt a little weird by the White Room scene. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't, because of the tension had already been cut so low, suddenly the Beast being there and them just kind of standing there, I didn't feel the tension, like the gravity of that situation. So I'm going to end up giving this a 63 out of 100.
Okay.
All right. Before we get to the plugs.
My favorite part.
The holiday season's been a little iffy on trying to find time and everything else.
I don't say it's iffy. We were sick, and then we were just kind of lazy for a week. We're finding time, sure, if you want to say that.
No,
I want to use the word lazy from my point of view. I don't know what you were doing, but I was being lazy. But we were going to take a break this week. This podcast will probably go up before New Year's. Correct?
Correct.
Probably.
Correct.
And then we will be recording the weekend after New Year's. So we took a week off, and now we're back, probably.
We're back on schedule.
Sure.
It lined up pretty well with the mid-season hiatus.
Well, this is actually we took a break the last week
after
mid-season. This is, which you can't really tell because that opening is so abrupt. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, the point is, if you want feedback, how would they do that, William? Do it now. So
no, you should leave us the feedback by commenting on the post at theangelrewatch.wordpress.com.
Or you can send an email to angelrewatch@gmail.com.
Or call our voicemail number at 206-203-3276.
Or you could go to the Tumblr, angelrewatch.tumblr.com, but I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't updated that in a month. So that's kind of behind. I'm a busy person. It worked when I didn't have 2 jobs and a podcast. I just had a podcast and I was making no money, but things happen. Anyway.
We're available on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher. While you're there, leave us a review about how professional we are. You can follow me on Twitter at NerdGuyWilliam.
Or you can follow me on Twitter and tell me at the Conformador.
And next time, we'll be reviewing Long Day's Journey, where Gwen returns and the gang learns that the Beast intends to blot out the sun.